What's up, people? This is Lolo Against the World. What's hot? What's hot? Now, Nikki Minaj just dropped a new album, The Queen. And I don't know, it was an hour-long album. I just jammed out to it. 19 songs. I don't know if I'm feeling the Queen or not. But I know, it was the regular Nikki, throwing her bars, writing her own shit. Make it clear now, she writes her own shit. Because that's one thing that she's real specific on, is that she writes her own shit. Throwing diss to who or whoever, well, we all know who she's talking about. So I jumped out to it. I liked it. It was all right, Number 11, LLC was the best song. She got hype on that song. She had one with Foxy Brown, and I don't know, Foxy Brown could have came out a little harder, or I don't know, maybe she just doesn't have it no more or what, but that one was okay. She had one with Eminem. I think Eminem kind of made his song, but... And then we also have that other song, the Barbie Dreams and shit, which is, we all know that's a sick song right there. But overall, it was an alright album. That's all I can really say. She was on 97 with Flex, and they were talking about, how she came up and everything, and, she said a lot of shit on that. That's just fucking topic right now on the internet right now. First off, she talked about the group that she started off with, and then she told some shit about Safari, and but one of the main things that she kept coming back on is about she writes her own shit. Check this out.
I have seen Safari in some instances say that he helped with writing. Then I've seen him say in some places he hasn't.
But I'll say this, and the reason why you've seen him backtracking and all that stuff is because
I saw it like a month ago. I saw him kind of like say, "Well, that's not exactly what happened," or
because it's not, and it was never the truth. And sometimes with me, a person knows that they can't really say anything to hurt me, but they know if they say that I will take it to heart. When I came in for my mixtapes and stuff, and even Fendi and I haven't spoken in years. Fendi would have been the first.
I forgot about that.
Fendi would have been the first person to tell you if I ever had any help with my writing. With all the fucked up shit he said about me, he's never said that, because Fendi will tell you, he would call me, I would be writing my songs, and I would be matching them up with Biggie's songs, and I would play it and go line for line and match the line, like Warning and Dead Wrong and all this stuff. I would sit in a room by myself for 14 to 15 hours doing that.
You wouldn't even keep no ideas from any of us. You was big on, I gotta write my own shit. Y'all not writing nothing.
It don't give you a right to lie about someone's craft just because you know they're a woman and people would believe you. So now years later you want to come back and say, "Oh, by the way, I lied." Years later, after you've tried to tarnish my image, and it's that's corny. And I've gotten over it, because people you can go and listen to Queen and you can hear the truth for your motherfucking self.
People before you, why did that rumor exist? Is because there have been artists before you that. There have been a few female artists that have been known to have writers.
Right.
So I gotta admit that I did believe it when it was I believed it when it was happening, when it was being said in the beginning. People who have come before you as rappers, as a couple male, but as some female rappers too, who have had pen help. So, of course, we're going to think that the closest person to you at that time, if he's saying that, a lot of people did assume.
Ask Fendi. And let me tell you what else, if people really think. Ask Meek. Now, you got to think about this. Me and Meek were together we messed around for a couple years, and then we were together in an official relationship for 2 years. Hold on.
Don't speed over that. Hold on.
No, I just want to say this part, but I want everybody to really think. I'm in a relationship with a rapper, okay? At some point, if I don't write my raps and I'm in the house with this man and I'm writing and recording all the time, he would have to find that out. He would have to know that.
Absolutely.
I would be in bed writing. I think it's sad that my culture turned on me when I put so much.
During then?
Yeah, with my writing, I've always been adamant that not only I write my own raps, but that I want all women to write their own raps.
But you know, there's a lot of rappers not writing.
It doesn't matter about what they're doing. My thing is just because I'm a woman.
But not just because you're a woman. I think.
So if I was a man and a man came out and said I've been writing their raps, you would have believed them? No, you wouldn't, because you would think I'm a woman.
You're right.
So you
you're right.
believed
You're right.
it.
I want to say right. Yes.
Thank you. So
yes,
there's a double fucking standard. I've written every fucking rap of my whole career.
I do agree that I do.
I don't want to talk about that. All I want to talk about is what I do, and what I do is I write songs.
Be clear.
Okay? I write not only raps.
Okay.
And I write not only raps, but I write songs. When you listen to Chun Li, when you listen to Coco Chanel, when you listen to Good Form, these records are written entirely by me. These records are not even a chorus given to me. These records are me having a beat.
Step your game up.
I never stepped my game up. I've always been doing this.
Yeah, but no,
I've always been doing
this album.
Flex.
This album. I think this album you stepped your game up.
I do think this album's better. I do think this album's better. But I've always had the same approach. Well, you talk about Itty Bitty Piggy. You took my Itty Bitty Piggy.
Tough.
That's a beat that I took at such a young age and sat with the shit and wrote it out.
It's tough.
By myself. By my fucking self. You want to talk about these females that have come before me? Go and ask Lil Wayne and go and ask Gucci Mane. Have they ever wrote a fucking lyric for me?
They've never said they wrote for you.
They can't.
No, they never said
They respect my pen. But they respect my pen.
See what I'm saying? And then she went on some crazy shit talking about how Safari. You know what? Just hear from her words, man. She blurred this shit out real quick.
The reason he did that was because he was hurting inside, because he shitted on me and finally got shitted on. And imagine that.
Well,
imagine that.
Since I'm gonna tell you what I heard he did. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I heard he got caught moving outside of the relationship. That's what I heard.
Of course.
And I heard that this involved, I heard so much, right? No. I didn't hear it involve me. I heard it involved, well, I'm going to get to that. That was on the tail end of it. But I heard he moved outside of the relationship. I heard there was like second apartments or whatever was happening.
To do something like this to me out of sheer weakness and passive aggression and just hatefulness and vindictiveness. Because you got caught shitting on a person that was taking care of you for years and years, because you got caught shitting on a person who was taking care of you while you were paying for prostitutes and doing all types and stealing their credit cards and doing all types of dumbass shit.
Hold up. Hold the fuck up. Hold the fuck up. Hold the fuck up.
How you go?
Hold the fuck up. Hold the fuck up.
No.
Hold the fuck up. Hit the bomb. If it was here, wait a minute. All right, listen.
And I tried to be so nice. Everybody knows I kept my mouth shut. I could have been a fucked up ass bitch to people. I said nothing.
You're not paying for pussy. Wait a minute. Just wait a minute. Wait a fucking minute. Okay, so now Gucci Mane, Waka, you're in that camp, right? Sorry, Safari. You're in that camp, and then
There's nothing for you to be sorry for. Actually, he should be apologizing. He should be apologizing. I've done nothing but good for him. You wouldn't know who this man was. He asked me to take him with me to Atlanta. Mm-hmm. I came to New York to get my clothes. Mm-hmm. He asked me to take him with me. How dare you bite the hand that feeds you? Mm-hmm. He had a job in Atlanta for one day. He came back home and said he doesn't want to do that job. I said, don't worry. I had $1,000 in my bank account. I said, don't worry. I'll figure out a way to get our rent paid.
Before album deals, before everything.
Before everything. We had no couch. We had no bed. Our mattress was on the carpet. Mm-hmm. Instead of going out there and working, he decided he didn't want to work. And I said, it's okay. I'll figure it out. I'll book a show. I know.
Love. This is love involved.
So if anything, he should just be thanking God that he now has an opportunity to make money and to make a way for himself. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't have had this opportunity had I not pushed my pen. He told me to stop trying to pursue rap. He told me that I was living in a fantasy world and it would never happen. His mother and his sister called me a lazy bitch because I was pursuing my rap career.
You obviously did the right thing.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
The paying for prostitutes.
No, I'm not going.
Because I was gonna move from it, and I wanted to. Was he charging it? Or call girls? Not really. You were on the Ave picking. Like, how did that even come about?
Listen, Flex, move on. But it's
Paying for
disgusting.
pussy?
It's disgusting. You don't do that. You don't do that.
She said something else before that because the paying for pussy it threw me so far off. She really said two things. Does anybody remember what she said? Don't look at her. Just tell me she said something else. She's never gonna tell me again. You gotta tell me. It was paying for prostitutes and something else. Okay.
See what I'm saying? And then she went on some crazy shit talking about how Safari. You know what? Just hear from her words, man. She blurred this shit out real quick. That shit stunned Flex, man. He was like, what? He was chilling. He was like, I mean, he left us speechless. Stealing her credit cards to get prosties. Oh shit, that's ghetto as a motherfucker, dog. When you have that dime fucking piece, hasn't even been fucking fucked with yet. She's still her body's still a virgin and shit, pretty much. I mean, come on, you had that, dog, and you're there fucking out getting prosties and shit. Man, you whack, dog. For real. I didn't even know about that shit about Safari. But then, Safari's hitting back on Twitter, and they're going back and forth. How she almost fucking killed him or something. She tried to stab him, and there's going back and forth. Like, damn, this shit was years ago, and now it's barely coming out now. It's like, fuck it. I guess Nikki just had the platform, and she just wanted to spit it out real quick. You know what I'm saying? Let's see some of the things they talked about. Oh, they talked about Tekashi. Check this out.
6ix9ine, how did you and him meet to get to the collab? How did that even come about?
Well, I heard him playing something on his Instagram. Can I see the fan Shika in the mirror, please? I heard him play this record on
Fan.
I heard him playing this record on his Instagram, and I didn't know him too much, but it reminded me of a record that I had done with Gucci Mane one time.
Mm-hmm. Not the one you ended up being on. Is this the one?
It is the one I ended up being on. He played he played like a snippet of that song on his
Just took out the fan?
Yes.
It's hot in here. It's nigga hot. I know.
He played a snippet of that song on his Instagram.
No lyrics, no nothing, no hook, no nothing.
No, yes, with the
He had everything.
Well, I think I think he had his first verse and his hook. And I think I saw Murder beats in the footage. And of course I know Murder. So I was like, oh, this is interesting. But the cadence that he was rapping with, it reminded me of a song I did with Gucci Mane. Slumber Party. And so I said, oh, this is funny. This reminds me of a lyric, a rap I spit one time. So I followed 6ix9ine, and all of a sudden he reached out to me, and he asked me, he asked me, did I want to link? Would I be interested in getting on a record? And I was like, yeah, sure, let me hear it. I knew it was gonna be that song though that he had on his Instagram, yeah, and I loved it right away.
That song's cranking, big in the club, cranking.
Thank you.
That record's cranking.
Shout out to him. I love the song. I love the energy.
I get a lot of flack for liking 6ix9ine.
Why? Because he's not something that they expect you to like.
It's unorthodox. To some people, there's two 6ix9ines. There's the 6ix9ine in social media, and there's the 6ix9ine's music that's in the clubs.
Right.
And the first song, I base my judgment on him strictly from the first song, Gummo. And I was in a hardcore spot in Brooklyn. A couple killers and a couple, just known dudes. And I said to myself, I'm going to try it. I knew what it was doing in the young clubs, but I said, I'm going to try it. And for me, if I see killers bobbing, I already know, like, they've already done what they feel about you and what it is. And if they like it, I know a record has a tendency to grow from there if the street's on it. So that was my thing. I think the people who judge him harshly are the ones who just go off his gram.
Me too. And I used to just go off of that. I was just like, what the? Who is, colorful teeth? I couldn't get past that.
It's it's if that's all you know, it is strange.
Absolutely.
But when you see the reaction to the songs and when I seen him in public, or the reaction to his records in the club,
Right.
like they're good records.
And when you deal with him on a personal level, him as a person, he's very different, off of social media. He comes across very genuine. On social media, he comes across as a troll, and I always tell him that. He makes me crack up laughing. But he's definitely a troll. But in person, he's different.
I enjoy his
Trolling?
Yeah.
Me too.
I do.
I think we all low-key do.
Overall, it was a good interview. I liked it. You learn some shit about Nikki that if you're not really following her all the time, that you never knew. You know what I'm saying? Like I never knew she fucking carried Safari. Like he was a broke ass. He fucking didn't work or anything. That she covered. She paid for everything. And then she said something about having $1,000 in her bank account, and she moved him together to the south. That's some shit I didn't know. You know what I mean? Well, if you want to check out that whole interview, I'll put the link in the description. You can check it out. It's a pretty good interview. Nikki looking good as fuck as usual. That girl stayed looking young, right? Slap that like button. Give a comment down there. Subscribe and share if you have to. All right, man. This is Lolo Against the World. Peace.